Hello guys! Good morning! So ngayon, gumagayak na naman tayo bago pumasok. And yeah, I'm wearing like somehow formal or office attire kasi meron tayong group reporting ngayon. So yung group reporting naman dito sa course ko, well, it doesn't happen frequently. Mga twice pa lang kami or thrice na group reporting for the entire SEM na yun na. So it's not that frequent in my course. I just don't know sa ibang courses if they do that frequently. So ito, minsan lang kaya gumayak na tayo and nag-aral na tayo ng ating sasabihin kasi sa presentation na yun, it will give us a lot of marks. So dapat mataas-taas na rin na makuha natin para mapanghatak sa iba pang grades or aspect of that course. So ngayon ay 6:45 AM. So madilim na naman sa ating nilalakaran, pero syempre dapat careful lang din tayo kasi ganun talaga ang area dito. Pero we are located near establishments nandun sa Ogden Pub, meron ditong 7-Eleven, meron ding mga street lights or post lamps na makikita along the way. So it's not totally dark. So thank you sa mga lahat ng nagpaparating ng concern sa atin nung meron tayong vlog na naglalakad sa snow na madilim. But yeah, it's naman safe. Pero syempre mag-iingat pa rin tayo kasi hindi naman guaranteed na safe sa lalakaran. But yun yung gagawin natin ngayon. And gayak lang muna tayo. Yan pala yung other side ng street namin. Ayan yung 7-Eleven. And merong maraming establishments doon. May Western Union, may bottle or liquor store. Yan. And then dito yung side na ayan yung mga lamps naman marami. And meron sa kanto na gas station which is dun tayo nag-aabang. So in the middle of it, meron tayong Ogden Whistle Pub. So syempre, since maaga ngayon, close pa siya. Pero yung entire area na yan, establishments yan. Ayun. Diba? So, clean path ngayon. No snow. Pero mukhang frozen, no? Kasi -5. Pero at least, diba, wala nang snow. Naka-shoes lang tayo ngayon. Rubber shoes. Yan. Okay, nandito tayo ngayon sa train station. Actually, naiba yung station ko. Tingnan nyo. Ito na. 7th Street. Kasi ibang bus number yung nasakyan ko. So, yung previous na sinasakyan ko andun. Yan yung sa Calgary Court Center. But since ibang bus number yung nasakyan ko, dito tayo nababa sa next. Kasi iba-iba yung iniikutan ng mga buses. So, buti na lang malalapit yung mga stations na pinagbababaan. Konting lakad lang. And ito yung station for the 7th Street. So, ang ganda ng kulay. So, yung next bus ay 3 minutes pa. So, yung paparating na to, ito, ibang line to. It's blue line. So, kailangan ko ng Tuscany. Kaya wait muna tayo. Yan. Yan, heater muna tayo. While ibang train pa yung nasa labas. Yeah. Oh, yan. Nandito na tayo sa safe. And, oh, ganda. Maliwa-liwanag. Yeah. So, ang klase ko again is 8 AM. Kaya, maaga tayo umalis. Unlike pag Friday, 1 to 3 lang. Yan. So, balot na balot tayo. Man, ikaw na bahala kung anong suotin mo. Kung feel mo mas nilalamig ka, mas balutin mo pa yung self mo. Diba? Wala namang dito, rules or pakialamanan. Kung gusto mo pa nga mag short or skirt, tas stockings, okay lang. Yan. Okay, kakatapos lang ng class. And, ayan. Tapos na ang ating reporting. Ayan. So, maganda yung building natin ngayon. Tapat na agad yung pathway sa train station. Ayan. So, ang taas na naman ng sikat ng araw at ang laki-laki niya. Anyway, so, pupunta muna tayo sa train station and bus stop. Yan, uwi muna tayo din. Mamaya ulit tayo mag-usap. Ayan. Nandito na naman tayo sa favorite spot. So anyway, may nagtatanong pala kung ano yung difference daw ng education dito sa Canada and education dyan sa Philippines. So try ko sagutin na, pero disclaimer lang, it's based on my experience. So yung sasabihin ko, it doesn't reflect talaga yung totality ng Canadian education and totality ng Philippine education. So, when it comes to quizzes, dito, walang surprise quizzes akong na-encounter. Kasi in the Philippines, there's a lot of surprise quizzes na nangyayari. So, hindi ina-announce ng professors or teachers, pero dito, it's always announced. Yan, kaya nakakapag-prepare kami. And about that, it can be open book or open notes, minsan closed book naman. So it depends din sa instructor or sa professor namin kung i-allow kang open book or open notes. Pero I think half nag-aalaw ng open notes kapag quizzes, and then half naman hindi nag-aalaw. So as to the aspect naman ng assignments, yan, marami dito. Assignments and activities that especially international students should be aware of, kasi kailangan mo i-balance yung other aspects of life mo. Like, if you are also a mom, like me, lalo na kung, diba, marami kang anak na 2 to 3 kids na inaalagaan mo, hinahatid mo sa daycare, sinusundo mo. So, you have to balance your time. And also, consider mo rin if you're working, whether part-time or full-time. And then, as to the aspect of recitation, so marami bang recitations dito sa Canada? Well, sa course ko, dito sa SAIT not much. So, pwede ka lang mag-volunteer kung gusto mo if the instructor is asking something and you have knowledge on that matter. Pero dito, hindi masyadong nagkakaroon ng recitation. Kaya, wala nga akong masyadong minememorize sa night before. Kasi alam ko, tomorrow, wala namang mangyayaring recitation. Compared sa Philippines, yan, marami tayong ginagawang recitation. Yan, in my experience. Like, every night nagpupuyat kasi you have to memorize, kasi when you do recitation, di ba, hindi ka naman allowed mag bukas ng libro or bukas ng notes. So yun yung comparison. Dito sa Canada, not much of recitation. And since malapit na tayo dito sa bahay, ayan, papasok na muna tayo. I'll continue the comparison in a bit. Yan, ito muna ang ating sun. Ganda ng weather. Ayan, we're already home. So, continue na natin yung ginagawa nating comparison sa Philippine education and Canadian education. Well, again, that is based on my experience. So, as to the aspect naman ng release of grades, well, sa Philippines, I have experienced a lot of situations na hindi na-release on time yung grades. You have to wait for like weeks or months para malaman ano ba yung naging result ng exam mo. So, dito naman sa Canada, well, particularly sa school ko na SAIT or Southern Alberta Institute of Technology, yan, we have always on-time release of grades kasi they really follow their guidelines or rules na dapat timely yung pag-release ng grades sa students. And aside sa pag-release nila ng grades sa students, may kasamang feedback yon. So, paano ba nag-perform yung student? Saan ba nagkamali? What are the things that we need to improve on? So, kasama yun. Meron dito silang tinatawag na rubric kasi hindi pwedeng basta-basta lang binigyan ka ng, for example, out of 50, binigyan ka ng 35 points. Although binalik nga sa'yo yung grades mo, alam mo na 35 ka, dito they provide an explanation saan ka ba nagkamali. So they have rubric na, for example, as to the aspect of grammar or spelling, instead of getting 5 points, you just got like 3 points because of these errors. So yun yung kagandahan dito sa Canadian education. Well, particularly again sa SAIT. And then, as to punctuality, I think we have already discussed or touched upon this matter on our previous vlogs. Kasi, of course, in my experience din sa Pinas, a lot of situations or a lot of times na nangyari na nalilate yung professors, whether it's because of traffic or whether it's because of attendance of a meeting. Minsan pa nga nag-aantay tayo ng about 30 minutes or even 45 minutes para sa pagdating ng professors. But here in Canada, they arrive on time, they start on time. If it's 8 a.m., we start at 8 a.m. By 8 a.m. talaga, chine-check yung attendance. Depende sa prof if the attendance will be checked online or pwede rin siyang orally na isa-isahin kaming tatawagin. So, they really respect each other's time. If they start naman on time, pwede rin naman sila magpa-dismiss early, but they do not actually go over and beyond the time indicated for that subject matter. So, it's also a respect for the next subject. So, hindi nila ginagawa yun dito. And then, as to the aspect of absence, so pwede ka bang absent dito sa Canada? Well, pwede naman. Yan, especially when life happens, diba? May mga nangyayari in life natin. For example, as a mom din, nagkakasakit yung anak natin, we can't go to classes. So, allowed naman yon. Ang requirement lang dito sa school natin sa SAIT is that we have to provide statutory declaration why we were absent. So, just state your name and then the date that you were absent and then state the reason. It's like an oath or affirmation kasi you're swearing to the truth or fact na as to the reason bakit ka absent. Pero kasi when I think about sa Philippines naman, wala namang ganung requirement. If nag-absent tayo, yan, during our classes, yan, wala naman so far akong masyadong maisip na gumawa ako ng excuse letter. But yan, excuse letter applies, I think, during elementary or high school. But when I was in college, hindi na required yun. If you missed a quiz, you can just approach your instructor or professor and then maybe assign a different date for you to take that quiz. So dito, we have to fill up a certain statutory declaration. It's a paper that you have to sign, swearing that the reason you stated for your absence is true. And then, as to the group work, ayan, ito relatable to sa ginawa natin kanina. So, kanina, we did a presentation. So, as a group, we worked on that for months already, but hindi naman to masyadong tedious. Kasi matagal tong process. We already gotten an interview sa isang manager and we just sorted out the facts in the slides. So we divided our tasks. So one did the introduction, one did the first topic, and then another one did the second topic, and I did the recommendations and conclusions. So we divided the tasks equally. So as I've mentioned earlier, hindi lagi-lagi nagkakaroon ng group work. Well, it depends upon the course or depende rin yan sa instructor. Yeah, I just don't know if sa ibang courses here in Canada, they do a lot of group works. But in our course, which is Legal Assistant Diploma Program, it doesn't involve too much of a group work. Yan. As compared sa Philippines, when I was studying,
there's involving a lot of presentations, may group work na kailangan. Minsan mag-meet pa kami somewhere to brainstorm, and then meron pang skit or whatever. Yeah, meron din naman dito pwede mong i-apply, but it's not much here in Canada. Hindi naman kami kailangan mag-meet up for a separate time kasi dito talaga sa Canada, busy ang lahat ng tao. So, overall, in my experience nga, hindi masyado kami nagkakaroon ng group work or group presentation here in our course. But it's more focused on individual assignments, individual quizzes. So, yun. As to the online platform, ito I think it depends din sa school. So, dito sa SAIT, I'm just really happy na meron ditong tinatawag na Brightspace or D2L. Yan, or Distance to Learning platform, wherein we can access all the modules, all the materials under this course. So, all the courses are posted already on that platform. We can access the modules, we can access the course schedule, we can access the material, how we are graded or the rubric, and then there's also the assignment tab where we will be uploading our assignments. So, yun, meron dong Dropbox icon, and then meron din ditong like a tab for the attendance. Also, ang maganda dito, it's the platform where you can access and view your grades. So, perfect na yon para sa mga students na lagi-lagi talaga nakadepend sa online or platform kasi you don't have to get or print materials kasi everything is uploaded there na for you to study on. But unlike in the Philippines, in my experience, wala kaming ganitong platform. Walang tinatawag na D2L. Everything is just based on the syllabus that's being handed to you by your professor. So, ikaw na yung bahala mag-research on those topic or materials, and then you get the books in the library. So, that's it. And then, as to the aspect ng pag-give ng feedback sa Philippines, I experienced minsan na hindi ko na alam how I performed on a certain project or on a certain assignment. Makikita mo na lang score mo like 90 or 95, 70, whatnot. But here, they provide again an explanation on your score. So whether it's personal, one-on-one, pwede kang bigyan ng feedback. Also online, naka-upload na doon yung document from the professor and how you performed, how you played on this part, and then what are the comments, or what are the things to improve on. So, yan. And then, finally, as to the cost, well, ito undeniably naman. Sa Philippines, yung cost of education ko is cheaper, of course, compared dito sa Canada. So, as an international student, we're paying triple the amount of the tuition fee being paid by domestic students. So, sino ba yung mga domestic students? Ito yung mga permanent residents here in Canada or yung mga citizens in Canada. So, they are given a special rate or domestic rate. Pero if you are an international student like me, you're gonna pay a very expensive tuition fee, which is triple or quadruple that amount. If you're a domestic student dito sa Legal Assistant Diploma Program, for a SEM, nasa more than 100,000 pesos siya. But if you are an international student, yan, I have a video I made that I paid around more than 300,000 pesos for the next SEM. Ayun, so ganun talaga ang cost of studies dito as an international student here in Canada. Well, different naman kapag if meron kang kasamang anak na pag-aaralin mo kasi it can be free pag magpapaaral ka ng kid mo from grade 1 until grade 12. So, there can be schools naman also in Canada na nag-charge lang ng minimal fee for the cost of education of their kids here in Canada. So, yun. Overall, that's my own view or perspective of Philippine education versus the Canadian education. So, ayun, I hope nakatulong itong video na to, lalo na sa mga nag-iisip kung papaano ba ang pag-aaral dito sa Canada as an international student. So, if you have any questions, so please feel free to leave a comment down below, and comment nyo na rin if tagasan kayo para alam namin kung saan nakakaabot ang videos namin. So, yeah, I think hanggang dito na lang muna ang video na to. I'll see you in the next one. Peace!